Gilbert, it is time for Compas on the LA beat.
It's like a bobblehead when you do that.
Hey,
Do it again.
it's time for Compas on the LA beat. It's
By the
like
way, I
if you
enjoy
like.
this segment here. Doing these videos, LAB. I like it, Fernando.
I think it's funny because remember when I used to first get you with the "What's up, bro?" You'd be like that. That's how I feel like this happens when I do the beat. So
It's
that's the
it's
that's
a
a
good way
funny.
to wake me up. And there's some videos where I look at myself, I'm watching them again. I'm like, man, I look really tired. But you wake me up with this
There you
different
go.
way.
And
Like,
it's don't forget season three, Gilbert, 3 years, Gilbert, of doing this. So definitely a lot of fun. But obviously, Gilbert, man, there's a lot going on right now. I think you know how we talked about during the season. It was madness during the season. You saw a lot of different stuff happening, teams falling off, teams jumping up, doing a lot of different things. I think this offseason is going to be nuts, Gilbert. We've already seen some craziness happen. Now let's focus on obviously the two teams in the city of Angels. The Rams, man, they've already cut Bubby Wagner, which is going to be official when the new year starts. And then now they're shopping Allen Robinson, and they're supposedly going to cut Leonard Floyd if they can't find a trade partner. Man, it seems like they're cap struck. But in your opinion, I mean, what how much talent are they really losing on this team, especially because they still haven't traded, or well, I think they're going to end up trading Jalen Ramsey, but they still haven't done that either. So how much talent is this team losing?
yeah, I guess it's a new phase in this Rams era, and there's going to be so much turnover in the next couple days or weeks for free agency for the Chargers as well. But the Rams are very interesting, Fernando. But I feel like maybe you're forgetting something or not so much. Maybe
I mean, I was gonna call a timeout.
I wasn't sure we're
And
on the same page, but go ahead.
no, we are. I was gonna let you answer the question, and then
Okay, I
before
don't
I
want to
kind of
go
hit
into
it.
the full detail, but yes, we have something to share. Go ahead, Fernando.
Exactly. So obviously, Gilbert has a little something, something. So
Yeah,
we're gonna take a quick timeout.
there we go.
Gilbert, call the play.
Maybe that's why I got too excited because yeah, as you can see, I've been wearing this hoodie all the time, Fernando. I like to have the hoodies. Your brother does. I don't know about you, Fernando. I think because you're a
I
guy that
don't
gets
I don't get I don't get
you don't get
cold.
you don't get cold. That's what it is.
Yeah,
And
I'm a,
and
I'm a,
I
I'm
was
a
thinking that
pullover.
when I got your hoodie, I'm like, I need to give you like a short sleeve hoodie or the Bill Belichick, right?
Or the
But
or the ring the bell, or the Pat McAfee
oh,
sleeveless
there you
one. I mean,
go.
I'll take any of that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But a lot of people have been saying they like the hoodies. So you know what I did,
They're
Fernando?
comfortable.
I got a bunch more hoodies because I keep telling you guys I'm gonna make that website comosonthebeat.shop.com. I gotta get the domain, so don't search it just yet. But there you go. But also, congrats to us. We got 800 subscribers on YouTube, and thank you to
Boom.
the listeners and viewers of Compas on the Beat, especially here at Compas on the LA Beat, because we notice the views. You guys like the LA content, so we like
Beep.
boom, there you go. You like to keep it local here. So what I want to do here, because I got a new order of hoodies. People like the hoodies. We got 800 subscribers. We're on track to get to 900 very soon. So you know what? To speed up the process and then eventually get to 1,000, I'm gonna give away one hoodie. And I got a bunch of sizes, so many sizes won't be an issue this time. Usually, I like to show favoritism here with the larges, but I got a bunch of sizes. So
Fluffy friendly. We are
yeah,
fluffy
yeah,
friendly.
we are fluffy friendly. You said it, Fernando. But to get to 900 subscribers, we're gonna do a giveaway real quick. I know I'm bantering here or talking too much because we gotta get to some Rams and Charger stock. But here it is to show you proof that I have more hoodies, not just this one. So all I need you to do is get in the comments here and type in what should it be, Fernando? Compas hoodie. That's it.
Yeah, or no, or just tell us how. Just ask a question, whatever you guys are feeling,
There you
or
go.
be nice and compliment somebody. Compliment Gilbert, compliment Susie from the store. Whatever you guys want to do, just let's all be positive.
Okay.
Positivity, spread some positivity.
There it is. Just leave any comment and under this video on the Compass on the LA Beat video, and I will tag you. There you go. I will save you on the giveaway. And one more request, one more ask. Tell people. Remember the saying, Fernando, be a compa, tell a compa to subscribe to Compass on the Beat. And the faster we get to 900 subscribers, the faster I give away a hoodie. But I'm done.
Yeah. So obviously,
You threw me off on the last one.
so obviously,
Question.
Gilbert, the way. So let's continue with that talk. So what? I mean, it just seems like Sean McVay's about to be. I mean, and this. There's a reason why they went and did this. They wanted to win a Super Bowl. They got it now. They have their Super Bowl, but now it feels like stuff is going to start falling apart for a little bit. For a little bit, I feel like Les Need and Sean McVay have a plan. But what do you feel? I mean, you covered the team last year. What do you feel like their plan may be?
Yeah, put it this way, Fernando. So Bobby Wagner already gone, and then they have Jalen Ramsey on the trading block. They could probably trade him, and they have Allen Robinson and Leonard Floyd on the trading block. I don't think they're going to find partners for those two guys. Maybe Leonard Floyd, but the Allen Robinson contract is pretty bad, and he looked a step slower on the field, despite some reporters saying in training camp that he looks amazing. So I won't name names here.
Dan and
But
Dago.
there you go. But that's a lot of talent to be like putting on the block or just saying, you know what, get out of here. Like they're paying these guys to get out of here because they want to take on the dead money this year. And, you know, technically the Rams could save some money by waiting until June 1st to cut some of these dudes or trading them uh, because the dead money was spread out from this year to next year. But the Rams were saying, forget that. Let's pay the bill now. The tab is due. We won the Super Bowl. Sean McVay almost left. We had the crappiest season last year. So the Rams were saying, give me the tab, Stan Kroenke and your Walmart money. Go ahead and Arsenal money. There you go. The Nuggets money. Do the Nuggets make money? I don't know, Fernando.
The Avalanche.
The Avalanche. They won. Did they win the cup? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jokic is the MVP. He's been the MVP for
There you
2 straight
go.
years. So yeah, they're making money.
Kroenke has money, so eat all of that money. So it's a new phase, Fernando. And the tricky part, though, they live in LA. Obviously, they got SoFi Stadium, and the key word is like, or the key phrase is like, you know, addressing the debt, but also staying competitive. It's gonna be very hard for the Rams to do that, but they have good building blocks, or at least guys in their prime, like an Aaron Donald,
What?
Cooper Cup, and if
What?
Stafford stays healthy. So there's pieces to
Ken?
maybe. Who else?
Yeah. No, no. I was just saying what?
Okay,
But I
okay.
changed it up in
I ran
Spanish.
out of players, so maybe that's all the players they know or they have that are not going to be on the training block. So, in the way I started thinking about this, Fernando, because I wrote about Derek Carr today. Check out my story at SI and how the Saints are forgetting to pay the tab and just like, you know what, forget the money, push it over. Derek Carr, come over here, and it just doesn't feel like a contender. Like the
Yeah.
Rams feel the same way, but at least they're paying the tab to be a real contender in maybe 2024. I don't know how fast they do it, but that's kind of my takeaways from it. But just to kind of summarize it, it's going to be very hard to trade some of these guys to get some assets back, but at least they could take on the dead money. And shout out to Victor on House of Horns for saying, when you got Stan Kroenke money, you can afford to get some misses and pay the tab earlier.
But the problem is too, and this is just my opinion, you still have to fix that offensive line.
Yep.
You still have a lot to really do on this team, and I just don't know. And you know, it's funny. I actually had a lunch with our good friend Eric Williams the other day from Fox Sports, and we were talking about it. And he's like, "Dude, he's like Jalen's a safety now or a linebacker. Like, so it's gonna be interesting to see now that they're gonna be missing him. What are they gonna do?" And like, we just started breaking down the Rams, and he's like, "I just don't understand. Like, it's gonna be weird to see where they're gonna piece these different things, but." They're definitely going to be a must-watch team. I still think they're a must-watch team just because I want to see how they're going to get all this fixed. Because Matthew Stafford took a beating last year, and it's like, are you going to really line up with that offensive line and let him take another beating? Like, he's not going to last the whole season, especially with all the 2 concussions that he had. The other problems that he had, I just don't see him lasting. But I mean, I guess we'll see what.
Fernando, before we move on, I have 2 things for you.
Yeah.
Are we gonna wait to mention some maybe free agent options to the end, or you want to do that for the Rams now? Or the other thing, I just want to make one more point before I ask you that question.
No, go ahead. Yeah, no. If you want to name some free, I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick. So, because the Rams might be kind of quick, they don't have that much money. They're trying to eat the dead money.
Yeah.
They're trying to just say forget this year. But like you're right, they got to protect their offensive linemen. And I'm sorry, they got to protect that too because they're not that good. Protect them somehow.
Yeah.
Protect Matthew Stafford or maybe Baker Mayfield. I don't know. But you need better offensive linemen, and it's tough when you don't have any cap. Yeah, they have some guys who were hurt last year. They were decimated by injuries. They get healthy, that helps out, but you still need to go bargain hunting. And again, yeah, you're right, Fernando. I'm sounding like a person who likes to plug the stories. I did a story of top 50 free agents on SI that came out, so check it out. And I went to the bottom of the list there, and there's guys like Ben Powers from the Ravens, a guard there. There's
Raven and Baltimore knows how to develop their offensive line,
and they know
do
how
a
to
really
run
good
the
job.
football. And if you want a guy who knows how to create running lanes, that could be your guy. I want
So
to
you're
know.
saying Les Snead and Sean McVay are going to go to 125, 125. What do I got? 110, 110, 110,
And then
110. I got 2,000, 2,000. Okay.
and then hope nobody tries to outbid them because they don't have that much cap.
Yeah,
And then there's a
exactly.
guy I want to say from the Titans. I want to say is a Nick something. I was gonna say Nick Carter, but I'm terrible. But guy from the Titans is a guard. Might be Ben something. I forget. I'll look it up later. And then I
Okay.
have the guy from the Eagles, Isaac Seomalo. Hopefully, I'm not butchering his name, but Isaac was also a pretty good
Yeah.
run blocker. Maybe he might have benefited from a good Eagles offensive line.
Bro, Taylor
They're at the back
Lewan.
end and
Taylor
Luan
Lewan.
too, but he might retire. And then also, I
Busting
don't
with the
know.
boys meets Compas on the beat.
That'd be pretty sick if he does.
Bumblebee!
If he does join the Rams, it'll be an interesting signing. But I don't know. I didn't put him on the list because you think he might retire. We'll see.
Yeah,
But when you have a good podcast, maybe
exactly.
you could collab here. Why come back? And then one more thing before we move on to the Chargers, Fernando. I already mentioned this point before, but you just mentioned Jalen Ramsey potentially being a safety. I told you about the conversation we had with Brandon Staley when the Rams played the Chargers, and
Yep.
Brandon Staley mentioned that possibility of saying Jalen Ramsey is going to go to be a safety, and pretty much following the footsteps of Charles Woodson.
And Charles Woodson
It was great.
added probably 5 or 6 more years to no 4 or 5 more solid years to his
Won a Super
career
Bowl with the
because he
Packers.
yeah because he shifted to safety. So I completely agree.
Uh,
Go
Sorry, one
ahead.
more thing, and just to say it to end on that point, if think about it this way, when you're Jalen Ramsey and you're a feisty competitor, and somebody's telling you need to move positions, that's gonna eat at you, right? It's gonna hurt you. But for Stater to be that confident to know that it's okay to say that makes me wonder there might be something going on with Derwin James, Staley, and Ramsey. But go ahead to the Chargers now.
I mean, the only way I could see that happen is if they cut him, and he would have to take a pay cut to do it. So I just don't know if Jalen would want to take a 1 year prove it deal with the Chargers. But I mean, who knows? Maybe to play with Derwin, we'd see. But obviously, Gilbert, the Chargers are obviously over the cap. We mentioned it; they have a lot of players. The way I can see them freeing it up, Gilbert, is if and this is gonna I mean I know this is a lot they're gonna be pushing because remember when you restructure you push it back to future years, but right now the Chargers are at the point where they're gonna need to do this. So Joey Bosa is gonna make 31 million, Khalil Mack 27, Keenan Allen 21, and Mike Williams. Oh no, Mike Williams, not Mike Williams. Okay, so I think they're going to end up restructuring Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Keenan Allen, and possibly Corey Linsley, who's due to make 13 million. And I think they're going to restructure their contracts and push them back, so that they're not making. So obviously they can push that and free up some cap space. If they do that, plus they cut Matt Filer, who's due to he would be a $6.5 million relief, and I think the other one was if they cut Dustin Hopkins, they get 2.2 million. So right
Really?
there, they'd have some free cap space. I just don't see if they're going to make other moves. The other move that they could make is releasing Gerald Everett, but you kind of need a time. Like it's not guaranteed that you're going to get one of these tight ends in the draft. So they're gonna. I'm interested to see how Tom Telesco is going to do this because somebody reported at that NFL rumors page that usually is pretty wrong about stuff. They were like, "Oh, the Chargers are going to cut Khalil Mack."
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They didn't just go get him to, and then he was a Pro Bowler. He did pretty well. He was the only pass rusher that they basically had. So I'd be very surprised if they let go of Khalil Mack. So I think the way that they're going to go is just restructuring everybody's contract and pushing that future money. Because let's be honest, I think that Telesco's on the hot seat. I'm being completely honest. I know we say, oh, I've said that
For the fourth
before.
year in a row, is that what you're saying?
No, but I'm being honest, like, and I feel like it's kind of like okay, like you kind of have to do something this year to kind of spark it up, especially with the way they lost last year. So I don't think I think they're gonna have enough cap to make a couple of moves, not big, nothing big like they did last year. Some small things, and then enough cap to sign their draft picks. But other than that, I don't see them making a huge splash in free
Well,
agency.
Fernando, first of all, credit to you because you're the one that said you don't see Keenan Allen going anywhere, and that's what Tom Telesco just said at the Combine Indy. And you were the one that said, you know what, they're gonna, restructure some of these deals, create some cap space that way.
Yeah,
Nothing too crazy.
they're top
But
heavy.
yeah, but let me ask you because one thing that's been on my mind, I'm not there anymore or follow as closely as you do, which I'm gonna try to do more better now. More better, terrible way to say that. Better. How okay, so will Keenan stay on the same contract? How will this work? Would he still be making $20 million, or would he take a pay cut, or somehow just pushing that money for different years? Is that what we're
I
doing?
I think they might do that, or they could do the whole bonus thing where they turn it into a bonus, give it to him. But I think he's going to stay on the same contract unless they extend him for an extra 2 years, and they kind of separate that
Yeah,
money
yeah.
and do that. They could do that too, but I just don't know. I just don't know. Like to me, like I told you, like I told Dan and Dago the other day, Keenan has 2 years extra, or because he tore his ACL 1 year and he's had 2 injuries where he's only played 8 games, so he has an extra 2 years. No, I'm just kidding about it. So I'm like, Keenan's only
Going into
29.
year 9. Is that what you're saying?
Keenan's only 29 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
But Keenan still has some stuff left in the tank. Last year he was hurt. He came back. He still made an impact. So you got to think that the Chargers want to keep Keenan. They don't want to let him go. They want to keep him and maybe let him retire as a Charger. But the thing is also going to be the cap hit. So I think I think they end up restructuring the contract, and maybe next offseason they explore maybe a smaller extension. But I just don't know if they do that, if they'd explore that this season. But I definitely could see them doing that next season to try and keep him, especially if he has another big year. But definitely, I think they are going to want to, they do want to keep him. I know that he's a huge playmaker. Justin and him have a great connection. So I just don't see them let him go of him at all.
It's like the Kirk Cousins deal with the Vikings. Like he always got one more year like, at
Yeah,
an extension just to spread out that money and that cap. Hey,
exactly.
one more year, one more year. So that could
Exactly.
be the Keenan
Exactly.
Allen way. Who knows?
Yeah, and I mean, and they love Keenan. Keenan's a good ambassador for the team. I mean, that's what I was telling Dan on What's Up Bolts the other day. I'm like, Keenan's literally gone through the shitter with everything. He's the blown loss to this, to that, blah, 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 blah. He's been through it all, and he's still here. He still wants to be here. So you can't get mad at a guy for, or not mad at a guy, but like you can't cut a guy that wants to be here, has been a good ambassador for your team. So those are few and far between, especially now where guys are jetting to go play with each other. They want to leave. I mean, you kind of have to respect it and want to keep a guy like that who wants to stay with your team. So yeah, I mean, for as far as free agents, I don't know. I told you I thought maybe John Johnson from the Cleveland Browns, he got cut. I think you and I both thought either Leonard Floyd or John Johnson was going to be a Charger in 2021 when Brandon Staley came over. Neither one of them was. I can see John Johnson. Why? I think he'll take a prove it contract. He was making a lot of money. I don't think it came to fruition in Cleveland, but I believe that the Chargers aren't going to bring back Nazir Adderley. He hasn't developed. He is still 9 interceptions short of Gilbert's projection. So definitely.
Did he really? If he leaves, did he only had one interception in his career,
Yeah.
or is there? Oh wow.
No, the one against he might have had 2 actually.
Okay.
One against New Orleans, and I think one this year he
Then
had
let's
one.
just say 8 short and call it.
Yeah, 8. Okay, 8 short.
There you go.
So I think they're going to try and get John Johnson. You bring him in. He knows the Brandon Staley system. And remember, Derwin's playing all over the field, so he's not going to play safety the way you regularly do. The Chargers do like Alohi Gilman. They feel like Alohi Gilman's better. He's developed better than Nazir Adderley has. So I do think that a combination of John Johnson, Alohi Gilman, and Derwin James would be a lot better than with Nazir Adderley in there. So that's one free agent that, as of right now, I'll give the Chargers. I think he'd be a solid free agent for addition for the Chargers on defense.
Can I plug another story, Fernando?
Go ahead.
I did another free agency story where I gave every team one free agent they should sign, and I texted you, and I was trying to give them a speedy receiver because you like the speed and you want some receivers. I almost gave them DJ Shark, but I mean they can't afford them. But then you went John Johnson because you're thinking about the cap, you're thinking about position need, things like that because you're the expert. And I gave John Johnson to the Chargers, so we'll see where that happens. And one more question for you, Fran, before we move on. Drew Tranquil cracked my top 50 free agents in the back end, but do you see him coming back with the Chargers?
I do. I think he had a good season, Eric. And if not, I mean, you guys have guys like Eric Kendricks who were released on Monday by the Minnesota Vikings. You have some other players, but I don't think Drew Tranquil is going to get as big of a contract as what people think he's going to command. He told me after the season, yeah, I want to come back. I want to be a Charger. These guys drafted me. They took a chance on me. Even after tearing my ACL twice, they took a chance on me. He's developed. I think he's developed into a good, serviceable linebacker. And you can't leave Kenneth Murray by himself. You need somebody like Drew in there. If not, it's going to cause a commotion. Drew's one of those guys that he's a converted safety to linebacker. He can cover some tight ends. He can cover some receivers. He's done some very good. He did a really good job this season. I was very surprised by the work that Drew Tranquil put in this year. So I do think the Chargers bring him back, and I think he's one of those guys that that Tom really need. He said, you draft him, you develop him, you pay him. This is a guy that you drafted, you developed, and now you need to pay him. So yes, Gilbert. There's a lot of noise out there, Gilbert, about a certain individual. Doggone it, he's coaching over at St. Michael's Catholic High School in Alabama. But supposedly on the Rich Eisen show, he said that he heard that Phillip Rivers reached out to the Miami Dolphins and to the San Francisco 49ers about potentially coming back last season, and that he's still interested in coming back this season if somebody takes him. Gilbert, what's going on with former Chargers quarterback Phillip Rivers? What is this? What's going on?
Yeah, that was surprising. I think it's a quarterback who accomplished a lot of things in his career. I want to say, what was it, 17 years with the Chargers, one extra year with the Colts there, and he just fell short. He didn't win it all. He didn't win the Super Bowl. Like Dan Diego says, what are you playing for? You're not winning a Super Bowl. So to get that elusive championship ring on his finger, he probably wants that. And he's like, what is he, like 39, 40? Or I forget. It's probably
I think he's 40 now.
So I don't know. I think it's that itch, but then when you get on the field, like, okay, your arm was already pretty shot at the end of those Colts days. And then it's interesting that he wanted the Dolphins or the 49ers. Yeah, they need quarterbacks, but the Mike Shanahan scheme there, Mike McDaniel also too running it, like it makes it life easier, right? To me, for him, it could be a good fit. Just give it to the running backs or dump it off. So I can see why maybe those teams. Obviously, it's because the quarterbacks got hurt, but it would have been interesting. But then again, dude, enough is enough, and keep coaching in Alabama.
Who do you think has a stronger arm, Tua or a 40-year-old Phillip Rivers?
Is that how you're gonna end the show here? Oh man, that's actually a tough question. I would say Tua just because he's younger, right. but me having to think about it is not a good sign.
So Phillip, dude, come on. We've known each other for a couple of years. We're not the best of friends. I mean, I think we're cool. I mean, we're cool. Dude, it's time to retire. Come on, man. Just sign your 1-day contract, get your jersey retired,
and when's that gonna happen?
That's because he's still trying to come back. So it's like, dude, just come on, man. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, you're Stan Ross from Mr. 3000. Like, you're just gonna be able to sit on the sideline like Bernie Mac did. You're gonna come in here and you're gonna get your last 3 hits, bro. It's done. It's over. Like, you can't do it. It's over. You had a great career. I don't know if you'll make it into the Hall of Fame. That's really cool. It's gonna depend on the writers and who you go in with. And that's another reason why I feel like he's waiting. I think he's waiting to see if maybe he can squeeze in somewhere where one quarterback ain't in there, and he can squeeze in the one where these quarterbacks ain't in there, and he could be the headliner. But dude, it's over. So, but yeah, I mean, a great career. You did a lot for I guess the city of San Diego and the Chargers uniform. But yeah, it's time to give it up. Time to retire. Go coach Gunner. That's what you're doing. So. Definitely, but we appreciate you guys for checking out Compas on the LA B. Don't forget, 900 subscribers, free sweater for the person that comments below.
And be a compa, tell a compa.
Exactly.
And it's over, Anakin.